Well, here is our example on how to compute standard deviation and some other numbers that are interesting for the exercise that we just did in the Chapter 4 example that I recorded in the second part of the video for week 3 on variance. So let's take the first thing we want to do is we bring up SPSS, all right, and go ahead and put me on hold until your SPSS is up. I'll wait. Okay, did you get that done? Thanks. All right, if you notice, we're in data view right now, and we want to define a variable. So we don't want to be in data view, we want to be in variable view. So go down to the bottom left-hand side of the screen and hit variable view. It'll light up for you. And let's do a new variable. And we're going to make this one called widgets. And the type is going to be numeric. And let's just leave it at this. Width of 8, 2 decimals. And the label are going to be, well, I'm going to also call this widgets. And I'm not going to put in any values. I'm not going to do a missing value. And it is going to be a continuous number. All right? So there we have widgets. Now, let's pop over, go down to the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and pop in data view. And here are my widgets. So now I'm going to put in my x-scores. And if you remember that second example, we're going to go ahead and type in the x-scores that we had right under widgets. So the first case is going to be 2. The second case is going to be 4. The third case is going to be 6. Type right along with me, so you could do this too. The fourth case is going to be 5, and the fifth case is going to be, if you recall, 8. Okay, so now we've got our x-scores in there. And you remember all those steps that we did, the 6 steps? Let's go ahead and have SPSS do those for us. So the next thing we want to do is go to Analyze, and let's go right over here to Descriptive Statistics. And we could go to Frequencies or Descriptives here, and we're going to start with Frequencies first. And we'll hit that, and here's our dialog box, and we have 2 columns, one with widgets and one with variables that we're going to use to analyze. So we want to light up widgets if it's not already lit up, and hit that arrow to make it go right over, and click on the Statistics button, and we may want to hit quartiles. We didn't compute quartiles. Make sure mean is lit up, median is lit up, mode is lit up. We don't need the sum, but do light up standard deviation. Put a check mark right in there. Variance, range, minimum and maximum. And we could look at the distribution, skewness and kurtosis. And let's continue. And let's now touch charts. And these are continuous numbers, if you recall. What kind of chart do we use for continuous numbers? We use a histogram. So let's click on histogram. Let's tick box the normal curve so that we could see what our distribution looks like as opposed to a normal curve. Click continue, and let's click OK. And when you do, the output will come up, and I'm just going to move my output right here, and you could see that it computed. My n is 5. I have no missing numbers, and my mean is 5. My median is 5. My mode is 2. My standard deviation is 2.236. My variance is 5. My skewness is 0. My standard error of skewness is 913. And here are my, I'm just going to skip these numbers for a moment. My range is 6 because I go from 2 to 8. And my minimum is 2. My maximum is 8. And the percentiles, remember from last chapter, are 3, 5, and 7. So let's now take a look at the cumulative percents that we looked at in the last chapter. And there they are right there. for you. And finally, let's take a look at a histogram. And obviously, we have one of each of these numbers. And so here is a normal curve, but what we have really is a rectangular distribution. And it's telling us that our mean is 5, our standard deviation is 2.236, and our n is 5. So that's the way we do a standard deviation and all the associated numbers in SPSS. Pretty cool, huh? And if we wanted to, we could actually move that out of the way and take a look at a different format. Let's go, instead of frequencies, let's go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and go to Descriptives. And let's go to Widgets, bring that over, touch Options, and take all the same numbers, the mean, the standard deviation, the variance, the range, the minimum, maximum, and let's go right over into Continue. And you see in Descriptives we don't have the option to set a graph, so let's go ahead and hit that. It'll bring over my descriptives right on the bottom under the histogram that I had generated in the last query. And let's take a look. The n statistic is 5, the range is 6, the minimum is 2, the maximum is 8, the mean is 5, standard deviation is still the same, the variance is 5, and skewness statistic is 0, standard error is 0.91, and kurtosis, which we don't have to worry about, is 0.2. So let's take one more look over here. Let's go to Analyze, and let's go to Descriptives and Explore and see what that gives us, which should be pretty neat. So we're going to take well, you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm thinking that what we should do is wait till we have two variables so that we could actually take a look at this in the next chapter. Okay, I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to leave you to practice. Try it with some other numbers. Go back to some of the frequency tables from the examples in the book and type in your numbers and see if you could get SPSS to work the way you want it. Okay? Thank you, and I will see you next week for the next two chapters.